Damso and Paisley stretching their advantage to 2 minutes and 11 seconds. And the class positions had that other change in N4. Still, it was Fecken and Aries in A7, Trott and Costa in A6, and Houghton and Doherty still ahead in A5, albeit by a slender margin. Rotenbach was out. He explains what happened.
This last stage, 10Ks in, we had a gearbox problem. It's quite a shame. We weren't pushing hard the whole rally, taking it easy, and now this happens. So it's just one of those things in rallying, I guess.
Visser du Plessis cruised through the stage, and no, he's not taking a shortcut, but staying out of everyone's way. His race was run.
Perfectly paced, smooth, can't control everything. Looking forward maybe to take a minute off the guys ahead of us. Literally going excellent, and then when we geared down to go to a medium right, everything just locked up. And something in the gearbox went seriously wrong. Then we had fourth gear only, and then that stripped, and then I managed to get first. And we've also got reverse, and that's it. So for the last 25 Ks, we've been driving at a steady pace in first gear. That's the unfortunate thing about rallying. You never know what's going to happen.
Sali de Toy and Gert van Rensburg rolled their president panel beaters Taz, but got to service.
Well, we went into a fast right too quickly. We tapped the inner eye, flipped us over, and we battled them out for a couple of, I think maybe 15 or 20 minutes to get the car back onto the wheels.
Sadly, the car overheated, and their rally was about to end. The 22-kilometer Rinkink stage was next. Dusty, loose and rough with rocks embedded in the road surface to trap the unwary or careless. But neither applies to Jannie Habig, still gaining experience with a new Polo, which he put to good use, winning the stage by 11 seconds from the rally leader. Damso was safe barring any mechanical failure, while Wilken upped the Class A7 ante, taking third fastest time, 23 seconds quicker than Fecken's Golf, the two A7 cars sandwiching the Himmel Subaru. With a glorious smell of victory in their nostrils, Himmel and Boetus won Class N4 on stage 15, but still lagged nearly 2 minutes behind Van Niekerk. Used to the endurance nature of African Championship rallies, Singh was quietly creeping up the leaderboard, now third in Class N4. Muna Singh is the nephew of the 8-times African rally champion, Satwant, the Biturban driver, a familiar face on the Total Rally South Africa over the years. Barry Grommelaar was up into 8th, his steady drive paying dividends. He raved all weekend about the performance of his Sasol Golf, smiling from ear to ear whenever anyone asked him how his rally was going. The top car BMW of Cliff Blackman and Johan Claassen, desperate to finish their first rally of the year, was solidly running 7th overall. Blackman taking it easy over the rougher sections like those in picture here. Craig Trott, the sole surviving Class A6 runner, only had to finish to claim the class championship points lead, while Claudio Piazzamuso had settled for a safe second and the championship points that go with that. Tony Ball and Alec Harris were enduring a rally straight from hell, suffering all sorts of mechanical problems, but they persevered and were holding 4th in Class A7. This car is Jan Habig's training car and a stopgap for Ball until he receives the Golf that Fecken is using in this event. Gugu Zulu and Llewellyn Fourie dropped to 5th in Class A5, after mechanical bothers, but soldiered on nonetheless. With just 3 stages remaining, the overall order was Serge Damso and Robert Paisley. They had a gap of exactly 2 minutes over Jan Habich and Douglas Judd, and Hogan Fecken and Pierre Arries were 6:50 down. While the class positions remained unchanged, but that was about to change.
The gearbox suspect at the moment. The gearbox all the diff, and we're just going to nurse it home now. Fortunately, I think we're still just about 2 minutes ahead, and that's we're happy about it, and we're just going to nurse it now. It's going to be very slow, nothing spectacular. Just nurse the car. That's all.
The short 13.6 kilometer Safkal stage had sections of soft sand and plenty of dust. Habich beat Damso, but all was not well with the Castor Runex. A rear diff failed, leaving the car in front-wheel drive, yet Damso was only 5 seconds slower than Habich. However, both Super 2000 cars were upstaged by the Flying Fecken, who won the stage with a time 15 seconds faster than Habich. Barry Grobler inched up the result sheets, while Van Niekerk kept his promise to nurse his ailing Lancer, setting only the 8th fastest time. Houghton continued his domination of Class A5, more than 2 minutes ahead of Nzimandi and 12 minutes ahead of Gugu Zulu on overall times. Piazza Musa was in cruise mode, still with a finish in mind, leaving the N3 class leader Rodney Versaghi and Carolyn Swan to switch into safe mode as well. Finally, it was down to just 2 stages to go. The overall positions, and in spite of Damso's scare, still a 1 minute and 55-second gap. And the class positions were still very static. Michael Nathan and Graham Hooper still right up there, leading in Class N2. Damso was a worried man as he came into the final service before the last pair of stages. The dented left doors from the Almelo service, where a competitor helped Paisley to close his door.
We have got a diff problem, so we've been running on front-wheel drive. So that's been a bit of a problem at the moment. So we're going to change the diff quickly, and we hope we can get it sorted out for the last 2 stages.
The Toyota team had never performed a repair on the French-built Sadef differentials before, and with just 20 minutes of service time allowed, it was touch and go. And Damso incurred 6 minutes of lateness and a 1-minute penalty. Over in the rival Volkswagen service area, a visibly unhappy Jan Habich was having various bits put back on his car. More work for the Toyota technicians as Wilken arrived back in service with a broken shock absorber.
The last stage we saw that the right rear shock was broken, and so we had to do another stage without service. So we lost about a minute in that stage, and hopefully they can fix it now so we can get to the end.
And that end was just 2 stages and 23 kilometers to go to the end of the total Rally South Africa. Damso was back in business, all 4 wheels powering the Runex along at a fair lick, and enough to win his 8th stage of the rally. Habich was 3rd fastest, dropping another 11 seconds to Damso, while Fecken popped up in 2nd on the stage times. Wilkin was also back in action, consolidating 4th overall, while the Namibians Richard Himmel and Adolf Boertes found themselves in 5th place overall and in the lead of Class N4. Van Niekerk was out, Cruelly, with just 17 kilometers of the rally to run. Grobelaar was elevated to 6th overall, his best result in a couple of seasons, while just behind them, Blackman was within sight of his first finish of the year, in spite of a scare in the previous stage. Muna Singh was on his way to his second runner-up result in the African Championship this year, giving him the series lead. Trott was unhurried en route to the Class A6 win, with Visagie enjoying himself in the lead of Class N3. The final stage was Damso's 9th, half the rally falling to the current drivers and co-drivers championship pairing. 21 teams made it to the butt-blast finish to take their well-deserved places on the podium. Faken and Aries won Class A7 and ended 3rd overall, while the S2000 Volkswagen Polo got its career off to a flying start with a solid 2nd overall. Serge Damso and Robert Paisley won their 3rd consecutive Total Rally South Africa, Damso opening up his career wins tally to 68.
And then 2nd overall, Gany Abik and Douglas Jones.
There we are. We had a couple of niggly problems right at the end, power steering problem, and then the brake master cylinder fell off, so we tied it on with tie straps. But apart from that, yeah, the car went pretty well, and I think under the circumstances, we're quite happy with the performance, and I think there's a lot of potential to still come out of it, and yeah, I think for the next event we'll be there.
Had quite a few non-finishes, so good result and a finish. I'm very happy. I'm ecstatic actually.
It was a long event, and the pace was, some places we had to go and we had to set, a pace sometime, and then all of a sudden there's people pulling some good times. Etienne had some good times, so we had to watch all the time what was happening. It's a pity that he fell out, because I think it would have been nice to see him also at the finish. They are on the pace, definitely, and I think they've got a lot more potential there, so we've got a bit of work to do too, so I'm sure by the Sasol it will be quite a big improvement.
You can't plan for something like that. It just happens. What we do is to plan ahead, what we want to achieve in a rally, and in the end it just worked out. We know that the long stage, the 60-kilometer stage, would be a problem, and so we also attacked that stage at with a specific plan. And what we thought happened, we did a very good time on the stage, and some of the guys fell out.
All class-winning cars are checked, and 3 were found to have technical irregularities. Mike Nathan had a disconnected anti-roll bar, but the stewards accepted his explanation that it broke during the event and levied a 20-minute time penalty and a 1,000 Rand fine on the Cape Town driver. This dropped Nathan from 12th overall to 18th and 1st in Class N2 to 2nd in class. The young Polokwane newcomer Craig Baragwanath and